I'm a 34-year-old man, and I've always considered myself level-headed and logical. I don't jump to assumptions. I don't shout. Jealousy was never something I struggled with, but what happened recently broke something deep inside me. Let me take a few steps back. My wife, let's call her Claire, is 32. We met back in college, and before anything romantic ever blossomed, we were best friends. Our relationship didn't start with sparks and fireworks. It grew gradually, deeply, and felt like something unshakable. After 5 years of dating, we tied the knot. Together, we faced job transitions, the heartbreak of losing a pregnancy, and even relocating to a new city. I always believed those hardships had only brought us closer. But over the past 6 months, things began to shift. Claire started pulling away emotionally. Initially, I chalked it up to work pressure. She works as a corporate event planner, constantly juggling meetings, venue bookings, and client coordination. But then her schedule began to look strange. She'd leave for work earlier, come home much later, and her phone, once carelessly left around the house, was now always face down, locked, and clutched tightly like it held national secrets. Always on silent. I noticed. Of course I did. But I kept my mouth shut. I didn't want to seem insecure or controlling. Then came the moment that finally shattered me. Our anniversary, just a few weeks ago. This year, Claire suggested doing something new. Instead of our usual cozy dinner at the quaint Italian spot where we had our first date, she wanted something with more energy. She booked a table at an upscale rooftop lounge downtown. She seemed more enthusiastic than she'd been in months. I did my best to match her mood, even though something didn't sit right with me. I still remember watching her get ready that evening. She wore a tight black dress I'd never seen before. Elegant but revealing. When I asked if it was new, she simply said, "Yeah, I picked it up this week," and left it at that. No backstory, no follow-up. She looked stunning, and I couldn't take my eyes off her. But the way she looked at me felt cold, distant. When we arrived at the lounge, I noticed it instantly. She kept scanning the crowd. It wasn't subtle. It was as if she was searching for someone in particular. I tried making conversation, bringing up memories from past anniversaries, but she kept checking her phone and looking toward the bar. About an hour into the evening, while we were sipping drinks and I was doing my best to salvage what little joy I could from the night, a man approached us. He looked to be in his early 40s, tall, dressed sharply, with that overly confident air some men carry like a badge. He didn't even acknowledge me. His gaze was locked onto Claire, as if I weren't there. Then he asked her to dance. She didn't hesitate. She didn't even glance in my direction, just smiled and said, "Sure, why not?" I sat there, stunned, not angry yet, just confused. But as I watched him on the dance floor, a sick feeling punched through my chest. This wasn't a casual, friendly dance. It was slow, intimate. His hand rested far too low on her back. Their faces hovered closer than what I consider appropriate. And the way she smiled at him, it wasn't just polite. It was playful, familiar, a look I hadn't seen aimed at me in months. My brain started racing. Was this the man? Did she plan this? Had they arranged to meet here? Why tonight of all nights? When she returned to the table, I tried to stay calm and asked, "Who is that?" She gave a careless shrug. "Just some guy. It was just a dance." But it hadn't looked like just a dance. That's when she shot me a look, one I'll never forget. The kind people give when they've already made you the villain in their heads. She rolled her eyes and said, "Don't be so dramatic." That was the breaking point. I didn't yell. I didn't make a scene. I simply stood up and said, "I'm leaving." Then I walked out. She didn't run after me. She didn't call out. She didn't even message me right away. When she finally did, hours later, all her text said was, "Are you done being dramatic?" "No, I'm sorry." "No, can we talk?" Not even a happy anniversary. I never responded. That night, I checked into a hotel. I'd never done that before, not even during our worst arguments. I'd never spent a single night away from our home. The next morning, she was already gone for work. No note, no message, No sign she even noticed I hadn't come home. The past few weeks have been eye-opening. I started reviewing our shared credit card statements. There were charges she never mentioned. Drinks at a hotel bar, a men's clothing store, a late-night Uber on a Tuesday. I haven't confronted her yet. I'm not emotionally ready. I've started therapy. I've been journaling, trying to process why this cut deeper than if she just admitted I met someone else. Because it wasn't just betrayal. It was public humiliation on a day that was meant to be about celebrating our journey. And the worst part? She didn't even try to hide it. I don't know what's next. Divorce seems like the direction this is heading. But right now, I'm grieving the version of her and the version of us that no longer exists. A small part of me keeps wishing I'll wake up, and this will all have been some misunderstanding. But deep down, I know that hope is just denial dressed up in nice clothes. I'm not looking for advice right now. I just needed to let it out somewhere.